Okay. Okay. Today we will talk about POC, proof of concept. Proof of concept. Concept. What does that mean? They might give some kind of requirement. That requirement, it's before get into that real coding, they will ask you to some basic code you have to write it and show the performance and show the what are the challenges you are facing that particular application implementation. They might ask you to write a POC. Its POC is nothing but some kind of project only, but it's not having use code or it's not having more controller services and all. But this is a skeleton, you can say. Okay. Or from scratch, you're developing some applications, right? This is a skeleton of to develop a, our, big application or like, then, what, how to write a POC? In Spring Boot, microservices, REST services. Okay. Now, first, what we need to do, we have to go with Spring Initializr. Spring Initializr. Anywhere, not only in any company, they will access this initializer. Okay. I'm clicking on that. Now it will ask you to which language you want. If it is Java, you can add Java. If it is Kotlin, Kotlin you can add. If it is a Groovy, Groovy you can add. But we are the Java developers, we can use Java. And how to build the application, you can use Gradle or Maven. Gradle Groovy, Gradle Kotlin, and Maven. We are using Maven for building the application. Then it may ask what is the Spring Boot version you want. There might be 3.3.3. Now I want to prepare a small application, that is what customer application. Customer. Okay. Customer application. The customer have customer ID, CID, customer ID, customer name, customer address, customer phone number. These are the fields is there. Now I want to prepare a small application. My customer information I want to save into the DB. Now we will write this scenario today. Then how to write it? Then first we need to write a group ID com.org organization dot, maybe you can see TCS, CTS, which company working. Maybe sometimes company name will be there, or you can add some other thing, maybe TCS. Now, Artifactory name is project name. We can call like name Artifactory name, like maybe customer, CUSTOMER, customer. And my base package is base package. Package is nothing but a combination of or collection of what? Collection of classes, interfaces, and abstract classes. Right. Then my package name is com.org.tcs. Maybe TCS or CTS, your choice, but I'm writing TCS. I want package jar or var. Var, if you are using, it's a web application or like a web logic server or application server, then you can convert your application into to var. But I am using only Tomcat, which Spring Boot provide. That is a web server. Its jar is enough. Then what is the jar version? Jar version basically current version is 24. Java current version is what? 24. Current version Java is 24. Java 24. Now, most used people are 8. After that, 17. After that, 21. Okay, now anyway, I have installed 18 Java. Then I might, select 17. I don't have 21. That is the reason I have selected 17. Now, I want to work with RESTful web services. I already spoke about. If you want to work with RESTful web services, we need to use this jar. What is that jar? Spring Boot Starter Web. But how to add? We have a dependencies here. Add a dependency. Clicking on the add a dependency, then we can select the web. Spring Boot. See here, build web, including RESTful application using Spring MVC, using Apache Tomcat and default embedded container. This is the what we want to develop a small RESTful microservices. Then clicking on this, I have added this. Now, before jumping into that, maybe I will give you somewhat clarity on you guys how on some topic. What is the topic name? I want to create a one application. That application is customer. Customer have some fields like maybe ID, name, address, phone number. My customer application, I want to store the information into DB. That means what operations? CRUD, CRUD operations. Create, retrieve, update, delete. Now, what my plan is, now if you want to develop an application in Java, already we have installed Maven installed and Postman for testing we have installed and MySQL DB I'm using MySQL DB. If I want to check this queries, I'm using Oracle Workbench. This all I have installed. Now, up to here, we are good now in the screen level. Now, I want to connect the database from here to here. Then, what we need to use, we have to use connector, MySQL driver. MySQL driver, if you want Oracle, you can type Oracle driver. If you want Postgres, you can type Postgres driver. If you add MongoDB driver you can type. But I want MySQL, then I'm typing MySQL. This is a MySQL driver you can select. Now my dependencies is Spring Web and MySQL. I already talked about Lambbook annotation, LOMBOK. Instead of generating the setters and getters, we can use @setter, @getter, $$ constructor, @recorder constructor. Then this is unused. These two jars is enough to connect the DB and saving the DB, getting the data from the database, and updating the DB, all the things. These three, dependencies. Now I will repeat it again. This is the Spring Starter, Spring IO. You can use in your real-time application also. They are using it or all people are using it. Now I want to prepare a small customer microservices or customer microservice I want to develop. Then how to develop that? Then first using Java 8, Spring Boot, microservices and REST services and MySQL is the DB. Now first part is I want to select Java language as build tool. We have a tool. You have some different types is there, but Spring Initializr is providing only Gradle and Maven. BT is some other tool. Okay. Build tool BT. That is like, that is also one some other building the application. But Spring Boot version is a default. My group ID com.org.tcs. My abstract ID customer. You can say application name. Okay, description you can give. I am writing a customer application, something you can give whatever you want. That is just like, demo. Instead of demo, we can give like, customer application, something we can give our choice. My first customer app. Now my package name is com.org.tcs. Package is jar and this is the 70. Now I want to add jobs which I want to develop. I plan to develop one microservices using Tomcat server and Spring Boot REST services. We are seeing here the REST services coming from the Spring web jar, and MySQL is a driver to connect with the Spring Boot application to what is this called database. Now what I want. Now what you need to do, you have to download your project or generate. Here you have a generate. Click generate. Now it's automatically download for you your customer application. Now your customer application, it's there in your here. This is the customer application. Now you can copy this. You can paste into the whatever you want, like wherever you want, you can paste it. Now I got pasted here. Now what I need to do, I need to extract this jar file or like var file or whatever. Now I want to do right click, extract all, extract. Now my customer application is ready. This is my customer. Then this and all it's giving for you, who is giving Spring Boot Initializr is giving. Now I want to open this. How to open? Go to the pom.xml file, right click, open with IntelliJ, which you already installed in your system or missing. Then how to open? Go to your pom.xml file, right click, open in IntelliJ. Now it will ask you, this application you already developed a small application. That is the basic skeleton actually Spring Initializr will give you. You don't need to worry about that. But you need to select or you need to add your package name and group ID, artifact ID, and which dependencies you want, you can select. For instance, you forgot some dependency. You don't worry about anything. Now how to add that? You can add it. Okay. See now when you're adding, when you're opening this, it's here. If you're installing Maven, automatically download from the Maven repository, all jars. See, it's downloading the jars. Now, once downloading the jars completed, okay, after that, we have to open SRC. SRC means source file. Go to the main, go to the Java. What is your package? com.org.tcs, which you given here. See, com.org.tcs. Description, my first customer application. If you go into the pom.xml file, see here, my first customer application. My group ID is com.org.tcs. My application name is the customer, artifact ID. My version is 0.0.1 snapshot. That is my new version we are developing this. After that, dependencies. Java which version? In the projects, we have a Java version 17 which are already selected in that screen. Now dependencies. What dependencies we have added? We have added in the Spring Boot Starter Web and MySQL connector and LAMP. Default Spring Boot starter test will come automatically if you are not adding also this annotations, this dependency Spring Boot will give you. After that, build tool. Build tool, what we are adding? We are adding Maven. This is a Maven build tool. This is the what actually it's downloading from the internet. Now you want to write your own application, that is customer application. I already told you Spring Boot main class always starting with Spring Boot application annotation. Spring Boot application annotations, under that we have a three annotations: enable auto configuration, component scan, and configuration. This I have explained in last classes. This is the main method. This is the run method to run the application or start you from the starting here. Now I want to prepare a model. I want to create a package. How to create a package? Right click on this, go to the new, and here package is there. Package. Now my base package is com.org.tcs. I want to create a model model. What is my model is? My model is the customer. CUSTOMER customer. This is the customer. Now my model is a customer. I agree. Then I want to add properties. How to add a property? PRI private enter ID. That is a customer ID. Private string name. String name. Address. Phone. These are the four fields you are adding. Now I want to generate a getters and setters and constructor. How to do that? Right click, generate getters and setters. See, this all generated getters and setters added. I want to generate a constructor also. Right click, generate constructor. All fields if you want. Then constructor done. Now my DB property and my ID name and phone number is proper or not. I need to check. Then my DB, I want to interacting with my model to DB. Then we have to use at the rate ENTITY entity. Okay. Then I forgot to add one more repository. What is that? JPA repository. What is that? JPA repository. See, this is the JPA repository. I have not added. I have added. Then how to add that? Now I forgot. Now how to add this JPA? Because of that, JPA repository all having Postgres. You need to connect with this guy. And then now what I need to do? I'll go to the Google and JP repository MA Vision Maven the dependencies. You have to select like that. Click like that. Then our version is 3.3.3. Right. Then clicking on this one, then it will see this will give you. See, we have a build tool, Maven, Gradle, Gradle chart, Gradle Kotlina, SB simple build tool, LVY, Prep, Builder, so many things. We have so many build tools, but we are using Maven, most of the people. Now what I mean to say, I forgot to add one more dependency name called JP. How to add that? Go to that. Okay, I want to JPA repository. Maven, you can type what I have typed it. Spring Data JPA, Maven dependencies for Spring Boot. Then it will open like that. Clicking on that, and what is the version you can select, click that. You'll get this report. Then copy this, and copy this. Go to your pom.xml file. Here, you have to add dependency, enter, and control V. Then it's a symbol is coming. See this Maven symbol is coming, right? Clicking on that. That means, hey, your application rebuild, your Spring Boot Starter JPA 3.3.jar can you download from the Maven repository. It is downloading from Maven repository. It may take time based on your internet. Done. This downloaded. Now this is the Maven. This is your customer application, Maven lifecycle. If you want to clean your application, clean it. Validate your application, validate. Your application, I want to compile, you can compile it. I want to test, you can test it. Install means clean and create jobs. That is the thing. That is a Maven life cycle, but that is not our class today. Now it's down. I have added down, whatever the missed annotation. Now I want to add annotation. JP also we have. Now I want to add at the rate entity. See, entity is coming from the Jakarta persistency. You can add entity and at the rate table. I want to map with the table name to this guy. Then maybe I can write table name as underscore maybe TCS customer. TCS underscore customer. Log. Okay. Now, which one is a primary key? Then if you want to have a primary key at the rate ID, Jakarta, it's coming from. Now what happened? Now your model is ready. Model is ready. Now one more package, we can create repository package. No, package name called repo repo. Instead of repository, you can write a repo. Then in this repository, you can create one more interface name called customer interface. Customer repo. This is the interface. We can select interface. It is annotated with. This is the interacting with the database, right? Okay. Maybe you may miss some classes, right? Maybe forgot. You guys forgot. Maybe that's the reason I might tell you. Now, this is the your controller layer, and this is the service layer, and this is the data access layer, and this is the database. Service layer to database you want to map, then model you have to write here, model. We prepared a model now. Now I want to interacting with the DAO to data access layer to database. We need to use JPA repository. I want to use this one and this one or directly this. Maybe I may skip this today. I'll add directly from controller to JPA layer. I'll call controller to JPA for your like learning purpose. And next POC, I will add service layer also, business logic. Now, data access layer, we will develop now. Whenever data access layer, if you want to develop, what we need to use, we have to use, you know, um, repository. extend JPA repository. JPA repository, it will ask two parameters. Hey, you are writing customer repo. I agree. You are extending my JPA repository. I'm very happy. But which database you want me to call? That means which table? Then in the model, what is the table is mapped with? In the model, TCS customer table mapped with customer model. You have to add customer model here. Then you can ask import, control space you can give to import. Now again it will ask one more parameter. Hey, I know you want me to connect customer table, but what is the data type of primary key? Primary key is this, data type is integer. Then coming back here, you have to add integer. Now my data access layer is my data access layer. Now I want to write a small control, my customer controller. Right click to that controller, controller. All package names should be small letter. Now my controller, right click, go to customer controller, customer controller. Now my customer controller annotated with at the rate rest controller at the rate request mapping. In the request mapping, we have to add API slash tcs.com. Okay, this is what actually my base path. I want to insert the data into database. My customer information, I want to insert. Then what we need to use? Post mapping. Yesterday's class I told you for CRUD operations. Post mapping, public. Maybe as of now I want only string. Create customer. Create a customer. I am writing a one method. What I wrote? My controller I wrote in the controller. I am adding a two annotations. One is REST controller. Second one is request mapping. Request mapping is nothing but for instance, see here, see, zoom.us. This is a request mapping error. If you want like that, you can write it like, tcs.com also you can write for this. But as, API application interface, that's a tcs.com I'm adding it. Now post mapping. Then what I'm mapping? My URL is create, that's it. Now my URL should be in the internet, my URL should be like that. Slash create. Like that my URL. Okay. That is what actually we mapped with the request mapping and create. Now I want to get the all details, customer information. What is the customer information they may send in screen level? They may add ID, name, address, and phone number. This is what they might add it, right? Then what we need to do? We have to add as a request body. You're requesting to save the DB, right? Then we have to add at the rate requester request body. What is that? Your customer model, right? Customer CUST. customer, it's reference variable. Now when you're clicking on this one, this might come here, it will add into that. Now who is interacting with the database? He is interacting with the database is the repository layer. What is the repository name? Customer repository. I want to save my customer details in the repository. Whom should I ask? I need to ask with the repository. Then I want to create a repository object or inject the object. Okay. So that I am using this guy. I want to inject the object. I am using auto wire. Or you can use constructor or you can use setter injection. But real time, you can use auto wire. In this auto wire dot, in this customer report dot, save. If it is more than one value, list of values, if you want to save all. Now only one value if you want to save, you can use it. Then this customer, you can pass here. Once saved successfully, return. Save customer details. This is the what actually small or basic app. Now, how to run this application? Before running, where is my connection URL, DB connection URL, DB password? Where is that? I want to add that. Then what we need to do? We have to go to the resources. In that, we have an application.yaml file. Here, you have to add your DB details or connection properties. But connection properties, I don't know where to get that. You'll go to the your installation, MySQL. Okay, Oracle documents, MySQL. See MySQL workbench. Clicking on that, Oracle workbench is open. My user ID is root. I kept. My password also root. It is opening. It is open. Now, I want to show the databases. So, database. Clicking on this. See, I have so many databases. You can use one database. Maybe if you want to create, you can create your own database also. Okay. And show tables. Before show tables, you can use one database. Yes, use IBC database. You have IBC database, then I'm using this and IBC database I'm using. Now I'm writing show tables. Now in IBC, we have a backup table, we have a customer, employee, some tables is there. Now now what is my database? I am going to use IBC database. And my user ID password, what is the database I'm using? Database IBC. My user ID, root. My password, root. This all I have already. Now connection properties. Where to get? You don't worry about anything. That will get from internet. That will get from internet. Maybe Chat GPT or anywhere. MySQL, Spring Boot, connection properties you can type. Anything you can open. See, this is the thing we have to copy. copy. Not only this, anything you can copy. Just you can pass. Now what I need to change, basically. I need to change my database. My database what? IBC. My user ID is what? ROVT root. My password is what? ROVT root. That's it. It's remaining, you don't need to change anything. It automatically. Now, please connect with another link so that we will start the application and we will okay, we'll start the application. We will do it. Another link, please join.